Titans Ed here, back to do another video review. This time I'm going to be reviewing Generation Trailcutter and Generations Hoist. Gonna start with Trailcutter or Trailbreaker, if you prefer that. Honestly, both names sound good to me, so I don't really care. This is a pretty interesting truck. I kind of like it. It is technically supposed to be like a truck. Honestly, when I look at this, I think of a truck that's been modified to go into a small war zone to either for a film crew or someone else, and only has like one mercenary in the truck because of these two big guns on the front. Now, I don't have too many problems with truck mode, except for I wish this bit had a second hinge on it, so it could go either sit flush with the truck or could go flush on the back of the robot mode. And I know that Trailbreaker and Hoist were famous for having this kind of bit hanging over their heads, but still, I would have preferred it being able to fold it all the way back if I could. Now, you can't take this bit off. This becomes a shield/blaster. And that's an okay truck mode. Again, this is why I think the hinge here would have been nice. Could fold this down. Because most trucks that have an exterior light thing, or exterior extra lights on the top, don't have them this high up. There's no reason to have lights that high up unless you're doing like some kind of major research or something. I mean, unless there's like sensor equipment inside there that needs to be that high. There's no reason to have lights that high. So, yeah. And I know this is where a lot of his force fields and stuff got blasted out, or was used during G1, but still, I would have just really preferred that hinge. It's my only flaw. It's really the only flaw, in my opinion, with the toy. So, transforming him. Trailbreaker in G1, yeah, he just shot out a lot of shields to help his fellow Autobots in G1. I honestly don't remember him that much, and I've watched the G1 episodes at least twice. You know, maybe I just haven't watched enough of them lately. It's been a while since I've gone through G1. If I'm not mistaken, Trailbreaker and Hoist were there. I think it was just Trailbreaker. Maybe Hoist came up in Season 2? I don't know. I know Trailbreaker was there from the beginning. So, this is him in robot mode. Here's what I was talking about. You can have... This is why an extra hinge would have also been good, because you can actually get this thing above his head. You actually have to have it out like this, or you have to have, like, it covered by his head. I really don't like that look. This is why I really would have preferred a second hinge. Granted, it would have been right on the back of his head, but it still would have gone over his head to make a little bit more sense. But other than that, I think the transformation is really good. This, for the most part, is a solid transformation. I know some people have complained about this, but the joints in the wheels are just tight enough that doesn't affect the ball joints in the arms at all. Like, I've had very few problems where this thing is suddenly mistransforming because I moved the arms. So the joints are nice and tight on this one, and you know it transforms fine. Now, as for the weapon, you can store it on the back. Like, don't sink the head down. You can't store it on the back like this. I guess you could do that. I guess, but you can't store it. You can also fit it on the arm through the peg, one peg it comes with. Let's see, can you see that? Yeah. And you could do this, and that's okay. It's not great, but it's not too bad. And there's one more way. It's a nice handle. Extra shield folds out. And you've got sort of a riot shield / blaster, which I think is just awesome. Again, I know this guy is supposed to be, he's supposed to project energy shields. And I know some fans were complaining they didn't have something else, some extra plastic to simulate that. People, this is where the third party comes into play. Personally, oh, shoot. Whoopsie. personally, I've got a Halo shield dome that I think if I modify the right way, I can make some kind of shield that could hold on to here to simulate that. It's a Halo Mega Bloks shield dome. So, yeah, that's cool. On to Hoist. Now, other than that glaring problem, there's one other for me. The hook, the tow hook is off center, and I cannot, for the life of me, get it to center properly. And it drives my OCD crazy sometimes, how uncentered it is. It really drives me nuts that it does that. But this just kind of converts into a blaster. This is also where I think Hoist gets a little, well, the long end of the stick, basically. Because where Trailcutter gets this nice big shield, he gets this dinky looking gun. I honestly think the tow hook should have been like Long Arm in Transformers. Yeah, it was the first movie. Transformers, the first movie. The Long Arm toy. How his entire tow hook became one big, huge gun. Should have been the same for this guy. Instead, he gets this dinky looking thing. This, honestly, is where... I know there's a third-party kit to make them look more G1, to give them arm blasters and some back wing fins. Honestly, if they would sell just the blasters, I'd buy them just for the... I'd almost want to buy it for the blasters, but if they'd sold a pack with just the blasters, rather than the... this is another problem. I always have this problem with the hood never wants to recede down sometimes. I've always had that problem for some reason. But once you get it down... yeah, like I said, they have a kit to upgrade these guys to look more G1 accurate. Personally, I would get it solely to give Hoist some more equipment, because I really think he gets the short end of the stick when it comes to his accessories. Now, this is Hoist in his robot mode. Like I said, other than the head, let me get to the camera. Yeah, other than the head, he is pretty much identical to Trailcutter, the head and the accessory. Like I said, he gets the short end of the stick. Honestly, I think he got the better accessory. But the gun's not too bad. I will admit, it's a clever way to fold up the tow hook and make it a gun. And it doesn't just have to fit in his hand. It could also be wielded in his arm. And it can be and because it's so small, you don't have to fold down the back thing to put it on his back. You don't have to fold down the light / sensor system to put it on his back. And also, one advantage with Hoist over Trailcutter, because his head's so much more flat, the sensor system you don't have to have it so high up so it actually looks like it's doing something. It looks like it could sit right over top of his head. I enjoy that a lot. It almost makes me wish Trailcutter's head was just Trailcutter and Hoist had the same head, because then, you can get the sensor over his head. But, take what you can. I think they're both great figures. If you can still get them, I'd go ahead and grab them. They're not half bad. My only complaint is that he's definitely suffering from the mold degradation. Unlike his waist, the clips this, really super tight. Takes a good chunk of force to get it to undo. This turns at the drop of a hat. It just lets go. So, yeah, it does. There is some mold degradation between the two figures, but the arms, still perfect. I'm surprised. In fact, these are tighter than Trailcutters, which surprised me the first time I opened it up packaging, that they're actually tighter than this one. So, not bad. But, again, till next time, this is Tight Zed saying, I'll see ya when I see ya.